Breaking news in Bitcoin and banking, what you need to know. Bank of America has hit a shocking crisis with countless users unable to access their funds or facing zero balances. Could this be the catalyst for a massive bank run? But really, that's just the tip of the iceberg. We've got exclusive insights into Elon Musk's secret meeting with President Nayib Bukele. What could this mean for the future of Bitcoin? And it doesn't just stop there. Larry Fink is sounding the alarm about an impending financial disaster, while the Australian Federal Police, they just cracked a seed phrase that could change everything. Plus, Swan is embroiled in a lawsuit against former employees. Let's dive into these critical developments and cover what they mean for you and your Bitcoin. Let's get straight into it this morning. So, breaking, Bank of America is down. Customer balances shown as zero. This is Bitcoin Archive. Haley Lennon, 2 days ago, Verizon was down. Today, Bank of America was down. Banks and telecom providers. So Mario Nafel, a little bit more context here this morning. Bank of America outages leave customers unable to access accounts. It's sparking panic. Bank of America customers experienced a major outage on Wednesday, with many unable to access the accounts or seeing $0 in their balance. The issue reported and down detected began around 12:45 p.m. Eastern Time. While the bank's app stated accounts were temporarily unavailable, users flooded social media with concerns. No kidding. Bank of America has yet to clarify the cause of or confirm if funds were at risk. That's according to Down Detector. We got CNN chiming in here. Bank of America is down. Customers, widespread outages. Couple of things here. Bank of America customers report having trouble accessing their bank accounts on Wednesday. Reports about a Bank of America problem spiked around 12:45, which collects data on Down Detector. Many customers complained they could not see their account balances. Some who could access their accounts were startled to see zero balances. It gets way worse. Bank of America did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Multiple CNN employees with Bank of America accounts could not log into their accounts online. A message displayed for one Bank of America customer said the current balance amount for one or multiple accounts may be temporarily unavailable. 5 accounts show zero balances over 20K. One Bank of America customer in Down Detector wrote. Another said it couldn't log in, but his wife can, and her accounts display no balances, and this is pretty bad. Shows my debt just fine though, another user said. In Australia, we also last year, I put out a message saying, is this a test? Optus, our largest telecommunications provider, went down a couple of things. Optus, they failed to provide honest and credible communication during last year's potentially dangerous phone outage. Sort of sounds similar to what's going on with Verizon, Bank of America, and should be forced to provide fair compensation in the event of another outage. The November 8 outage here, it lasted 12 hours. Pretty interesting how it's always 12 hours or thereabouts, affecting major banks, transport operators, healthcare providers, and prevented almost 3,000 OOO calls. That's the same as 911 over in the States. Our ambulance, fire, and police service, it is estimated about 10 million Optus customers and 400,000 businesses began their day without mobile or internet service before most services were progressively restored. Then we also had in Australia major banks raising the alarm on cyber warfare, claims the entire community is at risk. I don't know if this is the same thing happening with Bank of America, and we didn't get widespread shutdowns, but some of the banks did go down this year and last year in Australia. Maybe a little bit of food for thought to get the money outside of the bank, the cash outside of the bank. They're not looking good. We are being warned. We're being pre-programmed, is my view on this. And maybe everything's all good, but maybe the funds are not safe in the bank. Australia's big 4 banks are under constant attack, says the National Australian Bank executive for group investigations. That's Chris. Every bank is being attacked all the time. Australia's big 4 banks, it has been revealed, are being bombarded by cyber attacks every minute of every day, leaving customers increasingly vulnerable to scams. The entire community is at risk, Chris told the World Today. Yeah, money isn't a bank. Yes, it is at risk. And yes, the FDIC insurance is there. But do you want that dirty fiat or Bitcoin? And we're going to dive into Bitcoin very shortly. But Tom Lee, I thought this video was pretty good. talks more about the S&P, but it all relates to Bitcoin because it is liquidity coming into the space. And just shout out really quickly to everyone watching live, watching the replay. What a grand and glorious day. We have the beautiful big red buy button, which is just nice to be able to buy, stack, and chill. This is the day where heroes are made. If you haven't already, if you can tap the like button, hit subscribe. If you haven't already, if we vibe. But let's turn the volume up a little bit and let's get it.
That's right. I think we're still in the midst of a very tricky period because we've got the election in less than 35 days. And now we've got two things that investors don't know how to discount. One is, mounting tensions in the Middle East, and then a port strike that is potentially going to cripple the economy. And so I think that...
Just really quickly on the port strike, have you been stocking up? I saw some videos yesterday, was it Costco or something, and the line was just snaking around so much. People are taking that very serious. It's probably something I'd be taking serious. Maybe the worst doesn't happen, but worth preparing. Anyway, Tom.
As investors worry about this, if we get a dip, and a big dip, I think you still want to buy that dip because the setup into year end has a lot of tailwinds.
The worst case scenario for the port situation is something that we've seen. And we shut down an economy already, and that was probably a time to buy. We know that. So we've seen that movie before. Could it be? I can't imagine it could be as bad as the pandemic, but we have shut down an economy before.
Yeah, that's right. So I think it creates headline risk because, the longer this strike lasts, there'll be companies that miss, and so S&P earnings might get downgraded or some stocks might miss results. But that's all just temporary. I mean, those are just short-term headwinds because it doesn't change the long-term outlook.
Just on that, to interject, if we do get a major dip and we come down below 60,000, imagine if we hit 58,000. Maybe that is an absolutely amazing opportunity just to be able to buy the dip, make the most of these opportunities. Short term, it's temporary. It won't last long. Completely agree with that.
It's very strange that I don't remember.
And I just see in the comments there are a couple of people with Bank of America not showing the balances. It shows not zero. Brian, can you clarify? Can you see your Bank of America balance or not? Be incredibly interested to see. And if you are using Bank of America, have you experienced this outage?
Remember any war that lasts, that where the effects, and we've been through quite a few back in the 90s and in the 2000s, it never seemed to have as negative an effect on the overall markets as we thought at the beginning of each.
That's right. In fact, if we look at the last 6 sort of global wars or tensions, you almost always buy the invasion. The exception was 2022 with the Russia-Ukraine war because we were also in the midst of a Fed tightening cycle. So that was not a buy the invasion event. But the other times you did want to buy.
Both Iraq wars.
Yep, both Iraq and.
Was the market, where was the...
So they waffle on a little bit there. Just breaking, we've got Johnny Midas there in the chat. Just checked my Bank of America effing funds not available. It's so crazy, hey. The banks, Jamie Dimon, Jamie Dimon come out, say Bitcoin is risky. When you run your own node, you become your own bank and nobody can get in the way. They cannot stop you accessing it. Bitcoin does not go down. Even when we had the crowd strike earlier this year go down, which I think could potentially be another test. Maybe it's not. Maybe that's a little bit too tinfoil hat, but Bitcoin still works. That time on it's absolutely remarkable. I'm so sorry to hear for Johnny Midas, for the people in the chat, Brian, that cannot access. And I think Larry Fink, this is an older video, it's 24 seconds, but he's sending the signal. He's saying the quiet part out loud.
And also, I do believe the role of crypto, it's digitizing gold in many ways. Instead of investing in gold as a hedge against inflation or the devaluation of your currency, whatever country you're in, Bitcoin is an international asset. It's not based on any one currency. And so it can represent an asset that people can play as an alternative.
Probably makes sense to hold a little bit just in case. Let's dive into the price this morning, Larry. So I started at 60,293 and we're at 60,734. I have seen it jump around over 61 this morning. It keeps going red, grey, which is neutral, and then back to green. So It wants to do its thing. It wants to get a little bit higher. But in the last 24 hours, we had a low of 60,000 and 79, a high 62,310. More chop solidation. We're going to dive into what we can expect for the rest of October. This is meant to be October, and we've started off with some of the worst performing days in October in Bitcoin's history. Go figure. We all want that big green pump, and in my opinion, it's still coming, but we'll get to that. Now, back to Larry Fink. Expect fireworks. BlackRock CEO issues crazy Fed warning as a China tsunami is predicted to hit crypto and the Bitcoin price. Just a couple of things here. I did try put it in reader mode. It just does not work really well. Anyway, Bitcoin has swung wildly over the last few months as Donald Trump, China, BlackRock, and the Federal Reserve fuel the perfect storm for crypto. Let's take that out and put Bitcoin in there. The Bitcoin price has dropped after surging back towards its all-time high of over 70K per Bitcoin as the market weighs the impact of a China earthquake. Yes, this article is a couple of days old, but it stands strong. Now, as Elon Musk reveals the details of his secret meeting with El Salvador's Bitcoin-backing president, Nayib Bukele, we're going to dive into the secret meeting in a moment. BlackRock chief executive Larry Fink has warned he thinks the market needs to temper its expectations of Fed interest rate cuts, while analysts think China's central bank will create fireworks with a tsunami of liquidity. 100% that's happening. The amount of easing that's in the forward curve is crazy. Fink, who's led BlackRock to become the world's largest asset manager, looking after $10 trillion on behalf of clients. There's two nation states more powerful than Larry Fink. There's the US and there's China, and then there's Larry Fink, the world players with assets under management. Absolutely crazy. He told Bloomberg on the sidelines of the Berlin conference, I do believe there's room for more easing, but not as much as the forward curve would indicate. So the steps taken from China this week will unleash a tsunami of liquidity alongside the Fed more aggressively cutting a global easing cycle. We're pumping anticipation of that, but against a short-term liquidity drain, Mill and Brickell wrote. They don't say fight the Fed. They say don't fight the Fed. Also, don't fight China. Definitely don't fight the Fed and China together. Number go up. It is coming. Now, BlackRock and Fidelity Bitcoin ETFs are among the best launches of the last 10 years. Bitcoin has shaken up Wall Street. They are starting to pay attention. BlackRock the other day saw $41 million in inflows while everyone else is panicking due to the tensions over there in the Middle East. The outflow reserved an 8-day trend of consecutive inflows totaling 1.4 billion. There's this law within trading on the TA where you get like 7 green candles and then it's most likely to come back down before bouncing up higher. And it aligns with cycles like the days in the week and things like that. It's a little bit bizarre. But 8 days and then to have a couple of days, you're coming back down. It's nothing to be concerned about. Hopefully, can you just let us know if you're watching live, if you are concerned when it turns red and why and how long you've been here for roughly, maybe? Because I see it as an amazing opportunity. I get pretty excited. I'd just like to know if people don't feel like that. Institutional investors appear to have been spooked over rising tensions in the Middle East. With United States Bitcoin exchange traded funds clocking almost 243 million in outflows, 11 spot Bitcoin ETFs saw an aggregate 242.6 mil on Tuesday, October 1st, first day of Pumptober. According to data from Farside Investors, this was the largest outflow in almost a month. Ooh, scary. After September 3, after seeing 288 million leaving Bitcoin ETFs. It's also the third largest outflow day over the past 5 months, reversing an 8 consecutive day trend of inflows that topped out at 494 million. I did see like about 500 million of shorts of longs got liquidated, got absolutely wrecked in the last 24 hours. Maybe a good idea not to be playing with leverage. But BlackRock's iShare Bitcoin Trust was the only one to post positive flows, recorded 40.8 million for the day, marking its 15th consecutive day of non-outflow. BlackRock holders, they really get it. And they're probably some of the highest net worth individuals in the world. And they're truly starting to they're truly starting to understand the power of number go up technology, not the freedom technology, not running your own node, being a sovereign individual, but they're starting to get and they want your Bitcoin. Hodl he's a person that took on Craig Wright and won absolute OG within the space. Pure signal, the most important takeaway. If you only ever heed one piece of advice from me, let it be this one. Take self-custody of your Bitcoin. Control your own keys. Thank me later. It's so important. It's absolutely imperative. Shout out to today's sponsor, the Bitcoin Way. They can help take your Bitcoin off the exchange. They never touch your keys. They never touch your coins. The first 30 minutes is free. It's complimentary. You can talk to them. Just go through a bit of a rundown of where you are. Run your own node. So important. But even before running your own node, just getting your Bitcoin off the exchange into an air-gapped hardware wallet. I haven't had the time yet to do a review on this. I paid for it myself. We're going to see what it's like, how it plays out. But please just get it onto a Bitcoin-only hardware wallet that is air-gapped, that's open source, that the Bitcoin community has verified. Set it up the right way, in whatever way, and then please put your seed on steel as a minimum, titanium's even better. But if that's the only takeaway from Hodl or from myself, it's the most important thing. There's no incentive for me when you get your Bitcoin off the exchange. If you use the Bitcoin way, yes, that helps out me and it supports the channel, but overall it helps you more so. And Bitcoin and self-custody, people holding it, being sovereign individuals, this is how we defund all the nonsense, the shenanigans going on in the world. Well, it's not just going to get better overnight because we hold Bitcoin and self-custody, but it's leading that way. And that's the path that hopefully more and more of us can take just to nudge humanity back on. You can go into inheritance planning, cybersecurity, multi-sig, and so much more as you go through, but link at the top of the description for them. Now, I want to dive a little bit into Swan. I did reach out to Corey Clipston to see if he was willing to come on and talk about it, get his side of the argument. And there's two sides, I guess, to any debate, and the truth lies somewhere in the middle. So I'm just going to read this article and what they've said and reserve my own comments at this stage. We'll wait till things develop to find out what we hear. But this is Cointelegraph. Proton says Swan Bitcoin lawsuit is fatally flawed. They seek dismissal. The ex-Swan employees at Proton Management said Bitcoin's mining lawsuit is baseless because 2040 Energy operated as a separate entity. Bitcoin mining firm accuses Swan Bitcoin of stealing its mining business. Accused by Swan Bitcoin of stealing its mining business through a rain and hellfire plan has denied the allegations, calling for the case to be dismissed. September 30, motion to dismiss. Proton Management said accusations made by Swan are fatally flawed because it does not have a mining business to begin with. Proton said the mining business, 2040 Energy, was a separate entity fully funded by stablecoin issuer Tether, stating Swan's filing appears to be nothing more than litigation by ambush to disparage its former employees and contractors in order to gain leverage in its dispute with Tether. It's highly questionable whether any of the information identified in Swan's complaint actually belongs to Swan, as opposed to 2040 Energy, Proton added. Proton was founded at a time when Swan's financial position was so precarious that it had to conduct a large round of layoffs in July 2024, Proton said. Couple more things, four more lines. Clipston's firm said it was blindsided by a spree of resignation letters in August, noting many of those who resigned now work at Proton. However, the same ex-Swan employees say the resignation were due to Swan's mismanagement, which they claim negatively impacted 2040 Energy's operation and future growth. Swan, they're seeking a permanent injunction against Proton to prevent it from further disrupting Swan's Bitcoin mining business, and is also asking the court to compel its ex-employees to return stolen equipment, confidential material. Swan asked the court for a jury trial and for damages to be determined at trial. We'll wait for more information to come out and see how that develops. And again, I think the truth lies probably somewhere more so in the middle, but both sides are obviously going to make their argument very, very loud and try win. There's obviously some very hurt feelings there and something's going on. Now, Congressman Ro Khanna backs the idea of a US Bitcoin strategic reserve, saying seized Bitcoin should be held as a strategic asset due to its potential appreciation. Now, bipartisan support, it's building for the Bitcoin strategic reserve. It's pretty amazing. That's pretty incredible. This thing got memed into existence. Trump took it up, and now there's bipartisan support building slowly. It's absolutely incredible. Truth will always win. We maybe not get there this cycle, maybe not. But truth, I believe, inevitably, when we can follow it as close as possible with integrity, I think Bitcoin is the most truthful money. It is. That's ever existed in the face of humanity. It's not even 16 years old. We're pretty bloody lucky. And then a little bit of water on the fire to dampen things down. It's been an amazing last 3.5 years. Probably the greatest opportunity for anyone that's been stacking hard, setting yourself up for total success. Anyway, water on the fire. It's crazy that you could have looked at the Bitcoin price in the spring of 2021, not looked at it again for 3.5 years and checked it today to find the price at roughly the same price. Yeah, let's go. Justin, why Bitcoin has become part of the traditional finance, published in Forbes. To me, Bitcoin's inevitable for global adoption. And the banks can push back people like Jamie Dimon, Elizabeth Warren, whoever it is, Gary Gensler, all of them can push back, but Bitcoin's the money that people have chosen. And then we can just choose to put it in self-custody, run our own node. And it really doesn't matter what they think. And then humanity, there's more of us than them, the evil kleptocrat. Just be like, fuck that, I opt out. At least that's what I'm here for. The separation of money from state makes everything better. As the adoption gets bigger and bigger, we'll get back to the news in 2 seconds, but as the adoption gets bigger and bigger, it will incentivize people like Larry Fink, the banks, to be able to custody it, to be able to hold it, to be able to try control it, because they want to keep the control on the people, on the sheeple. But I think that's a sign. When they start embracing it, maybe it is something to be paying attention to and ask yourself, you go hard enough? I hope so. And we've still got a good bloody opportunity. We're under 100K. Like, who would have thought we can still buy Bitcoin under $100,000, October 2024? It's absolutely insane. The thing's going to rip. Not Bitcoin related, but freedom of speech related, and nothing against Walsh or JD Vance. I'm here in Australia. I can't control the US election, but I'm a major proponent of free speech, of the freedom to be able to transact as well. I think Bitcoin is the best form of freedom of expression in every way. That's not related to Bitcoin, and here in Australia, they're trying to push this misinformation, disinformation bill, stop people like myself to be able to talk about the potential for banks to collapse, about bank runs and stuff like that. It's absolutely insane. Trying to do it over in the States under Kamala as she was president. I thought this was pretty interesting, and maybe I'll leave it to you. I'd like to know your thoughts.
But you guys attack us for not believing in democracy. The most sacred right under the United States democracy is the First Amendment. You yourself have said there's no First Amendment right to misinformation. Kamala Harris wants to use the power of government and big tech to silence people from speaking their minds. That is a threat to democracy that will long outlive this present political moment. I would like Democrats and Republicans to both reject censorship. Let's persuade one another. Let's argue about ideas, and then let's come together afterwards.
You can't yell fire in a crowded theater. That's the test. That's the Supreme Court test.
Tim, fire in a crowded theater. You guys wanted to kick people off of Facebook for saying that toddlers shouldn't wear masks.
Senator, the governor does have the floor.
Fire in a crowded theater. That is criticizing the policies of the government, which is the right of every American. But you guys attack us.
Yeah, it is the right to be able to criticize them for absolutely everything, even if we're wrong with our criticism. And I don't care really what party. We do need that opportunity to be able to speak freely. When they try silence our voice, it is an attack on the human spirit, on the human soul. And by stacking Bitcoin, it takes a little bit more power away. It also gives you the opportunity to have fuck you money. So if things get absolutely crazy dystopian, you've got your Bitcoin, you keep the 12, 24 words in your head. You can just go have a second passport, easy as that. You are now a sovereign individual. But don't let them get away with it. On either side, any attack on freedom of speech. Here in Australia, Labor and the Liberals, the Liberals are saying they won't support the misinformation, disinformation bill, but they'll come up with some other dystopian shit. So there's these two parties, but it's the one government, and they're both designed to be able to crush the human soul. And I don't know how we stop that, because most people are so asleep. Australia is starting to wake up, and we see it around the world. I just don't know if we're at that catalyst yet. And hopefully it happens before it's too late. There's been a bit of pushback there, but I think we've still got a way to go. And I think Bitcoin has a large part to play. Before we get more into the news, my mate and I, best friend, co-founded rarejerk.com.au, the ultimate snack for legends in the go. It's not Bitcoin related, but without health, there is no wealth. If you're a meat eater, you're a carnivore, or you're on the ketogenic diet, the original jerky is just beef and salt, dried, sent to you, double smoked, crowd favorite, Dad's Barbecue. We've testing 2 flavors. So if you order the Dad's Barbecue, we'll give you the main one, and then we'll give you the new test, as well as a little bit of a freebie. But rarejerk.com.au, you can check it out there. If you want to pay in Bitcoin, I would prefer that you save Bitcoin at the stage. It's so bloody cheap, but you can reach out to me on X, and we can sort something out until it's integrated into the website. It's just been a little bit hectic, but that is coming soon. Something you might find interesting is the Rare Jerk manifesto there. We'll bring it up. But check that out on the website as well, why we're doing it. I think it's beef's a superfood. Only shipping to Australia, by the way. Anyway, the Australian Feds, which the Australian Federal Police, they've deciphered a seed phrase to access suspects' crypto. This is scary as hell, and they've given very little information in regards to, we don't know how it came about, why it came about. But the Australian Federal Police, they're like the feds, said an analyst cracks the seed phrase to a crypto account belonging to the alleged creator of an organized crime messaging app. The reason I bring this up is because your Bitcoin security is absolutely paramount. It's absolutely essential to get right, to do the right thing. Let's get into it. So the AFP said that, the AFP, the Australian Federal Police, AFP, said they recently deciphered a seed phrase to access a suspect $6.4 million in crypto, nearly 10 million Aussie cuckbucks, Pacific pesos, let's be kind. The suspect is accused of being behind an encrypted messaging app called Ghost, which authorities claim is used by organised crime. AFP said October 2nd, the crypto was seized after a criminal asset confiscation task force, CAT-T, analysts deciphered the account's seed phrase following analysis of digital devices. I wonder if it was generated on a computer and they didn't generate it on the device itself in an air-gapped open source device. Maybe a little bit of food for thought. Recovered from the home of Zhang, the alleged creator of the encrypted messaging app. This allows the AFP to access cryptocurrency to be transferred in secure AFP cryptocurrency storage. AFP said it will transfer the crypto to the government in due course, and it may be used later to fund law enforcement initiatives. It'll be really interesting to see how long Australia holds on to the Bitcoin. And I don't know if anyone has any figures on how much Bitcoin Australia holds through confiscation. It won't be a lot. Most people in Australia are asleep to Bitcoin, and most people in general are pretty good people. Not that much illegal activity happens on Bitcoin because the whole chain's public. It makes 0 sense to be able to do that. But whether you've tried, so this is their warning to you, and it's pretty ominous. Whether you've tried to hide them in real estate, cryptocurrency, or cash, we will identify your ill-gotten goods and take them away from you, leaving you with nothing, said the AFP command. Raven. Do bad, karma's a bitch. You know, whether it's AFP or just karma, the hand of God, whatever it is, we'll strike those people down. So maybe go out and do good with the world. Bitcoin's just a tool, good or bad. AFP did not respond to Cointelegraph's questions about how it deciphered the seed phrase or what devices were recovered from Zhang's home, saying the matter is before the court. Speculation, but I wonder if it was ledger. So is October real or is it fake? Where are we? We're at 60,817. Beautiful green, beautiful red buy button. No green buy button at the moment. September, which is historically the weakest month of the year for Bitcoin, turned out to be the second best September performance of its life and the absolute best over the past 12 years. October is commonly referred to as Uptober by the crypto bros. This is Oliver Valise. Shout out to the legend, Ollie. and for good reason. While October hasn't delivered the best average monthly gain, it is one of the best months of the year in terms of total number of times. Historically been up. No matter what the academics operating from their chalkboards and fancy diagrams say, October has historically kicked off the most bullish part of the cycle, not just for Bitcoin, but for all markets. It's a historical tendency I've been playing and benefiting from for 4 decades, 40 bloody years. What should be noted is that's typically the second half or later part of October that has huge bullish tendencies, not so much the first half. Phew, I thought it was cancelled, but it looks like we're still in October. Yeah. Oh, man. In fact, the later part of September into the first half of October is a period known for its market crashes. September 24, 1869, Black Friday, and October 19, 1987. I wonder if that's meant to be 1969. Anyway, October 19, 1987, Black Monday, which I lived through, just 2 examples. This September into the first part of October weakness is what sets up the bullish aftermath. Think as if the market is squatting during this time before it leaps into the air to remain there for the next month. With all that said, I do believe focusing too much on 1 month versus periods or larger blocks of time is a mistake. I'd encourage you to look at the stats from October all the way through May. It's truly impressive, and that's where their excitement is for me. Focus there and stack harder. We're still under 100K. I don't know how long this will last, but any opportunity to buy under the all-time high or under 100K, I think it's an absolute blessing. For me and my family, my mum's still waiting for her super to be converted. It's stuck with the ATO at the moment into a self-managed super fund. When that cash comes through, she'll be going all the way into Bitcoin with that. So the lower the prices, the better the prices. But I said, Mum, if it's under the all-time high, it's all good. You don't need to worry about it. If it's still under 100K, don't sweat it at all. And even if it's high, it really doesn't matter. You'll be holding it for 10 years until retirement. It really does not matter. But October, November, December, looking like they're going to be pretty lit. Let's just take, what's this one? 2017, October, 47% up. November, 54% up. December, 39% up. Pretty full on, hey? I'm ready for it. But these opportunities, they're still a grand and glorious gift. And the gift is Bitcoin. It's just TikTok next block. This thing doesn't fail. It doesn't skip a beat. It doesn't go down like the stupid banks do. Block height, 863,868. Exchange rate, 60,675. This is what we need to be paying attention to. Each one Bitcoin's made up by 100 million Satoshis. You don't need to buy a whole Bitcoin. I understand at 60,681. That's probably unachievable for most people. If you got there, well done. There's about 1 million people in the world that are ever going to own 1 Bitcoin or more. If you own more than that, if you own 2, there's about 500,000 people in the entire world. And your time's running out. And if you're ready for the price to go up and you've done really well done. But if you're new into the space, TikTok, there's really not long left. Sats per US dollar. So for every $1, and remember, 1 Bitcoin's 100 million Satoshis, but for every $1, you get 1,649 Satoshis. That's pretty incredible. It's like turning $1 into 20 if you're measuring fiat by the time Bitcoin gets to 1 million or 1.2 million. That's pretty good trade if you're still thinking in fiat. But 1,669 Satoshis. Now, bullish, it just keeps getting bullish. The global liquidity reaches 132.8 trillion. It's the highest level since 2022. Things are going to get hectic. It's going to make falses. They want to shake people out, ruin your conviction. Hopefully you just freaking love the red button. Some days, like when it crashes $10, $20, $30,000, people like, what's going on? But it's another opportunity, and hopefully you're here for it. Hopefully you get all the way through this bear market. It's going to throw people around, and unfortunately, I don't know if everyone's still going to stay and be here for the next cycle. Let us know if you think you're going to be here diamond hand, or the volatility is going to shake you out. And check out that price, a little bit ominous on the clock. Bloody hell. Jamie, Diamond, Demons in charge. Now, Elon Musk, the future of humanity. Elon Musk reveals details of a secret meeting with El Salvador Bitcoin president amid price rally. So this other day, tried to read remote again. Anyway, Elon Musk, the Tesla billionaire who is one of the biggest Bitcoin and crypto price influencers, has shared details of a secret meeting with El Salvador's Bitcoin backing president Nayib Bukele. Musk, who earlier this month backed a $36 trillion by the end of 2024, warning over the spiraling interest payment on the huge US national debt pile, revealed he and Bukele discussed the future of humanity and technology, though he didn't mention Bitcoin directly. Personally, my opinion, my belief, based on absolutely nothing apart from the feeling within myself, is 100% it came up. They talked about it. Also, huge amount of speculation from my part, and it's based on absolutely nothing apart from watching how Elon Musk was last cycle. I believe he'll come out in favor of Bitcoin at some stage during this cycle. He may rescind that. He may take that away again. May do this to the price. But that's my two predictions. I definitely believe they spoke about it, and I do believe that he is going to pump it in some way this cycle. I think he's just going to do it, even if it's just for attention sake. We'll come back to this, but anyone holding Solana, it's pretty good warning by Edward Snowden for you. Another good warning, CBDCs, they're coming to a country near you. Australia's working on it, the Federal Reserve's working on it. China has one, Bank of Russia are about to put one out, claims the digital ruble issuance that won't cause inflation. This is a retail CBDC as well. The worst thing about it is they can control everything. Like, you think the bank's not showing the balances are bad. CBDCs are a whole lot worse. They can give you negative interest rates. They can just deduct the money from your account. If you walk through, if you jaywalk or whatever it is, if you have a speeding fine, take it out, and they can control it. They can manipulate the way that you operate in the world. It's crazy. That saying, he who controls the money controls the world. And that's why they hate Bitcoin so much in self-custody. They love it in the ETF because it's time to go up and they control you. But this is the energy. And this is how I feel 100% of the time in regards to Bitcoin. But the Bitcoin therapist, he just nails it. There's a couple of F-bombs, and I'm going to read them. I think we're far enough into the stream to be able to put up with a little bit of profanity on this grand and glorious day. And if you are just jumping in, smash like, hit subscribe if we vibe. You'll get news 5 days a week, Monday to Friday, 7:35 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. How good was the Bitcoin accountant the other day? What a fun rip. You get those. I've got some cool guests coming on as well when things slow down a little bit. It's been hectic. But anyway, you ready? Feeling bullish. Something happened in the last 24 hours. Feeling mega bullish. Tide is shifting. Bull market on the horizon. Feel like an epic explosion of capital is about to be revealed. Floodgates are opening and liquidity is about to pour the fuck in. No one is ready. Rest in peace to the bears who are about to get fucking slaughtered. We've been consolidating for too long, and the gambling fools who are short Bitcoin are about to be taught a solid lesson called HODL. If you're short Bitcoin right now, you're fucking around with generational wealth. You made it this far. Do not fuck this up. 100% agree. This is the most serious thing to be paying attention to alongside your health and your relationships. It is fucking game time. Hopefully you've been smashing that big red buy button. You've got a fucking great opportunity. Today, things are going to get so fucking exciting. For the next 12 months, these dips mean fucking jack shit. It really doesn't matter. And what really matters is one Bitcoin is one Bitcoin. Did you get to one fucking Bitcoin or not? And if not, please go as hard as you possibly can while we've still got this great opportunity to get as close as you can for whatever that means for you, whether it's 0.1, 0.5. If you can own 0.21, you're fucking set. You just need to hold on to it. So TikTok next block. It's game on. And if you're fucking around with stupid shit coins, just be aware
significant on it, and then all the state.
They're all fucked up. They're all scams. They're all centralized. It's just Fiat 2.0. You've got all the founders flying around in fucking private jets, owning Lambos, penthouse apartments, going out, popping bottles and shit like that. Great. Have fun for the people that make money in crypto. That's good. Be a fucking degen. But for the founders, the people that are running it, they need to be fucking cash flow positive and not be wasting fucking endless amounts of money. It's all a scam, and Edward Snowden jumps in 100% on this for the Solana bros.
A lot of people, and I don't want to name names, but Solana are taking good ideas and they're just going, well, what if we just centralized everything? It'll be faster, it'll be more efficient, it'll be cheaper. And yeah, sure, it is. You're right. But nobody's using it, but for like meme coins and scams. Because if anybody puts anything significant on it, and then all the states begin moving towards it, it's going to be a system that has levers that people can simply just take from you. You have to be thinking for the adversarial case, as opposed to the convenient, easy, early case. I mean, that's uncomfortable for like a lot of these founder mode people who are like, oh no, we need the minimum viable product.
You need to be looking at the adversarial case. You don't want to let anyone have any chance of taking control of your financial assets, your financial trajectory, your wealth personally. That's Solana for you. It's used by fucking scammers, according to Edward Snowden. Now that's news with the fast facts. If you're hanging around for a bit of a banter, welcome, g'day. What a fucking grand and glorious day. If you're heading off, smash the like button on your way out. We will see you tomorrow. I think today's Thursday, so we've got another one tomorrow, Friday. And please just do something nice for yourself and for somebody else out there. People are in a whole lot of pain. Maybe just fucking shake them and say, pay attention to Bitcoin. If you think you're fucking broke now, just wait till inflation just skyrockets. People are going to get fucking slaughtered staying in the financial system. It's not a joke. It's not even about getting rich quick. It's just about not getting fucking poor by the government. They are systematically separating or destroying the middle class, and there'll be the haves and the have-nots. What camp do you want to be in? That's where we're at. That's my opinion. Sorry to be preachy this morning, but if you can go out and just shake someone, it'd be greatly appreciated, because I want to be in a world where people are not struggling each day, hand to mouth, where they have the opportunity to do what the fuck they want, to be able to just have choices in life. And I think that all comes down to Bitcoin. They don't get Bitcoin, other hard assets. Bitcoin's the hardest, best form of money. It's just simply the best, in my opinion. But read the books or eat the bugs. Habib, and for everyone watching, you already get it. I just more mean for the fucking sheeple, if you can go out there and slap them around a little bit to wake them up. Nicely, of course. Habib, g'day. First one here today. You're a freaking legend, Habib. Let's go. Johnny Midas, greetings, brother Sean. John Moran, good to see you. Now, the Morans are a major organised crime family here in Australia. If you've watched Underbelly, you know who the Morans are. John, any relationship? Be very interesting. I knew someone next to a neighbour that was Moran as well. Fucking really interesting cat. Very, very interesting. One of the coolest people of crazy different world, but one of the coolest, interesting people I've ever met. Retro Beaver in the house, McLovin. There's just freaking legends all the time. G'day from Flyover USA. Bank of America is no longer Bank of America anymore. CR is a globalist shill, if my memory doesn't fail me. Did I see something? Maybe there's an Australian CEO left recently. Hey, McLovin. Good to see you. OPD in the house. Let's get it. Brian having problems with Bank of America, not showing VT Gothic. Deep and beautiful foliage season, the Green Mountains, Vermont. Vermont, one of my favorite places in the entire world. The United States of America, next to Australia. I fucking love both these countries. They're absolutely amazing. If you are in the States and you haven't seen your national parks, why not? If you're an Australian and you haven't seen the Great Barrier Reef, the Daintree Rainforest, the rainforest down in Victoria, go out and explore. Uluru is fucking amazing. There's some really incredible places in the world, everywhere. Like, you know, we've got Belize Hoddle. I don't know if he's in the chat today. It's another glorious place, part of the world that I want to get to. Go out, fucking explore, touch some grass, get some sand, have some sun, eat some steak, have some sex, all the good things, stack sat. No balance showing Johnny Midas. That's fucked. That's pretty scary, hey? And I think we're going to see more and more of it. I don't know if it's a test, what's going on, cybersecurity hack. But literally, the banks are not safe. And leaving money in there, like, why? Yes, have like a little bit of a runway. I get it. We've got a company that we need to run to do that. So we've got a little bit of a cash balance. But for anything that's not necessary, it's in Bitcoin. Money's just inflating away. And we've still got an opportunity to be able to get rid of those cuck bucks for the world's hardest form of money. Take that trade any day. But fuck that. Fuck that. Imagine going to your bank and seeing that if it's Rectember on the 5th of November, buy J&J, P&G, and Playtex stonks, tampons, and all the boys' bathrooms will be the pads to all-time highs. Fucking hell, Jake. Good morning. Good thing I keep minimal fiat. Bloody legend. Brian there. Government and banks provide a false sense of security. 100% they do. They want you to believe everything's peachy, it's all good, and it's backed up by FDIC. Australia's got something similar here, $250,000, and banks, it's insured for. But they just print it, and then they devalue the money they're giving back anyway. Like, the whole system's fucked up, it's broken. Thank God we've got another one. 10K Bitcoin, sign me up. Sign me up for it. Yeah, let's go. I'm happy, and let's do a fucking major giveaway. If the Gary the Guzzler and Lizzie Borden Warrens of politicians win and Larry the Finkster tries to fork Bitcoin, we'll see 10K price. Fuck, I doubt it. I don't ever fucking think ever that we're seeing 10K. But if it happens, if like the probability is very low, the possibility it's possible for sure. I think, I don't know, even under $45,000 is looking like a bit of a stretch now. Something could happen. We could get a black swan, but I just think there's too many buys around that 58K level. Like, yes, it's a meme, but it has created a super strong level of support. So the lower it goes under that, people are just going to go like crazy and not fucking really care, trying to time the bottom. But it'll just buy it all the way down and it will stop that free fall. I doubt it. And if he forks Bitcoin and you've got the ETF or whatever, just hold both. But because they can choose the less likely chain. But I don't know if the ETFs fork if you get to hold both. Probably not. They'll give you the shitter one and they'll keep the actual Bitcoin. Speculation. I have, Brian, 4 bank of accounts and 3 of them are showing my credit card balance is still showing. Oh, it's showing nothing. Well, fuck that. But the credit card balance is still showing $86. So they're showing the debt. US national debt increased by $204 billion today. $204 billion in one day. Nothing to see here, folks. No. Like, this is why we Bitcoin. That's why it's so bloody important to be paying attention to Bitcoin. And shout out to everyone that's coming in towards the end of the live stream. If you haven't already, smash like, hit subscribe, and then you can rewind and see the news with the fast facts. It's just time to be able to stack fucking hardcore. There's a lot going on if you didn't see the start of the video. Thank God for Bitcoin. Thanks, Satoshi. Thank God. Whatever that higher power is outside of yourself that you believe in, thank them that you found Bitcoin. Something guided you in some way, or maybe it's just your own internal compass, seeking truth, light, freedom. Well done to whatever got you here. They got me here. I'm so grateful. I'm so humbled. I'm so blessed. Don't know how I'd think about the world if it wasn't for Bitcoin. It's fucking crazy place, but with Bitcoin, it's all good, and it gives you options, gives you freedom back. After 7 years, never concerned when Bitcoin dips. Very concerned when my bank shows F and zeros. So Johnny Midas knows what it's at. Not concerned about red. Been in the space since 4/21. Absolutely awesome. April 2021. Red does affect my mood, but confident in the future. How interesting. Here since late 2013. Never fucking worried. These are all legends. Top G's. My guy, keep up the great work, mate. JB, good to see you, brother. OPD, love red, stack and sets. These are all fucking legends. Let's go. These are probably all going to be here then for the bear market, and then 2030, it's going to be fucking insane. 2030, 2034, I reckon we're $1 million or higher. That's my thought hypothesis. It's so far out. I may get it wrong. I may get it right. Maybe fucking bearish, bullish. It doesn't really matter. But Bitcoin's taken over the world, and I think most people fucking get it. It's so good. Find a Bitcoin seller that issues the coins directly to your wallet without a KYC requirement. If you need help with peer-to-peer exchanges and stuff, you can always reach out to the Bitcoin Way. There are plenty of tutorials out there on YouTube as well. Probably BTC Sessions over on Ben's YouTube channel. BTC Session is one worth looking into as well. And pretty interesting. The Bitcoin Way is going to be holding a panel in regards to like the forks of the Samurai wallet and stuff. And I nominated Ben. I reckon he'd be a good voice to be able to have on there, but I don't know who they'll get for that panel discussion. But that's a video that I'll share it when it comes out. Be paying attention to that one for sure. Massive bull flag has formed. If you care about charts, the breakout will be epic. Fuck yeah, it will be epic. It's like moments. G'day, Sean. Good to see you, buddy. Vance exposed Wilson Harris perfectly. And, you know, politicians, it's like, it just creates a lot of noise, a lot of division and stuff. But whoever's going to be better for free speech, that's the person. Whoever's going to leave Bitcoin alone for the longest, that's the person. That doesn't even matter so much as long as you can buy Bitcoin and then just do the right thing and protect it at all costs. But free speech is really the issue. And it's weird that it's happening all around the world. You're trying to get rid of it. Jake Thomas, please touch that like button if you feel Sean has provided a quality service for you. Tell your true friends about his site. Subscribers need to show up like the 81 million last election. Selection. That's absolutely hilarious, and thank you so much. Jake McLovin, good to see you. Smashing the like. Jacinda Ardern has the Eric Camilla Harris government. Fucking more scariness. She's the ex-prime minister in New Zealand. Just all of it. They all go to their WEF fucking conference and they sit there and they're like, how can we control people? Fuck off. I'm not for it. Excuse the profanity. It's a grand and glorious day. Anyway, Jacinda Ardern, the name boils my blood, has the Eric Camilla Harris government with free speech. The US and EU attempting to bring it to play the same regulation that Ardern was pushing in New Zealand and now the world. Yeah. US, EU, Australia, New Zealand, it's fucked up. Retro beaver living the dream. 90% of our families died as grass-fed beef, soon to be entirely beef. Fucking let's go. And quick shout out again, if you want to support the channel, but you just want fucking really good beef jerky, the original jerky, sold in beef, keto carnivore friendly, rarejerk.com.au. And if you order more than a couple of packets, we will give you that Dad's Barbecue as a bit of a bonus, the new one that we're trialing. And just please give feedback on it. That'll help us out a lot. Just gonna keep DCAing in and go back to sleep, 100%. So I buy Bitcoin every 2 weeks whenever I remember to pay myself. And I pay myself super as well. But every 2 weeks, I'll put some into super, some into it. I think what I'm going to do now is the same amount every 2 weeks, but just DCA that over the days. Like, I really don't care about the price, but I think as things start to get like volatile as fuck, I just want to smooth that out a little bit. And I think that's the best strategy. I'll continue to stack forever. So instead of doing it like every 2 weeks, I think I'll just do it every single day, and I think it's a better way to be able to do it. DCA is the best strategy for the most amount of people. What I'm trying to do is get rid of that camera angle, not change back to Rare Jerk. Just going to keep DCAing and go back to sleep, 100% stacking, stack cold storage, take a nap, tell them, enjoy staying poor, motherfuckers. Unfortunately, people without hard assets are going to get slaughtered continually. There's so many people that just don't get it. They'll work their entire lives. They think their house is an asset. If they have a second house and they're renting that out and they're generating income and it's paying for all the expenses, yes, you can class that as an asset. You're dwelling. You're not making any money. It's not a store of value. It's just a house. If you go to sell it because it's gone up and you need to buy somewhere else, well, you're in that same market anyway. It's hard assets, and without them, people are going to be in a world of pain, and that's absolutely sad. And I think things are going to get really bad. Like here in Australia, everyone's calling for more interest rate cuts, more interest rate cuts, more interest rate cuts, because they're struggling to pay their mortgage because they over leveraged. Okay, so what happens when they cut interest rates? There's easy money, there's more liquidity. People go and buy more and more houses, and the price goes up even more. Everything else inflates away. So while they may be paying less on their repayments for their mortgage, they're absolutely stuffed because everything else gets more expensive, and they think saving in cash is all good. It's the whole system's fucked. Blick, good to see you. Red button, fuck yeah, it is. It's a great day. DC Doc, I got a problem. Can't stop stacking. Dan of Steel, smash the like button for Sean. Push him over. Oh, Biden's 81 million subscribers. Fucking hell. He's relentless. Absolutely relentless. 100 air in the house. Bitcoin is an IQ test. If you don't understand Darwinism is coming for you 100%. It is. Truly, if you can do me just one favor, hit subscribe. It really helps push the Bitcoin message out there. The more people that subscribe, the faster they're smashing the like button. YouTube will push out Bitcoin content. It'll push out more and more Bitcoin content. We're still under 100K. There's an opportunity for people really to be able to change their lives. And then once they understand Bitcoin, they start reading the books. When they start to pay attention to Bitcoin, we'll get Joseph on next week to do a signed copy of, like a giveaway of this book. It's a signed copy. It's a good book. But all the books, when they start reading the books, they won't eat Klaus Schwab's bugs from the World Economic Forum. They also learn to be able to take self-responsibility for their money. And then it like has a ripple effect in every area of their lives. And they realize the noise, the programming, the nonsense, the propaganda from mainstream media, and just what's going on in clown world and how destructive fear is. And they start making different choices and then can start looking to the future. Bitcoin's a fucking amazingly powerful tool. It's a gift. And we're all here for it. So on that note, please do something nice for yourself. For somebody else out there, it's a grand and glorious day. Have a beautiful day. Be blessed.
Everything seemed normal. Successful businesses were functioning as they usually should. Money was being placed in the bank as savings. Life was good. Nobody notices anything funny. But 2008 hits and all hell breaks loose. Everything we thought about money and the banking was a complete lie, a complete sham, a Ponzi, a scam. The whole world fell apart and a lot of people got hurt financially. And as a result of this, the Bitcoin white paper was born. But yet the same mistakes keep happening over and over again. People are leaving money on their institutions up until the last straw, FTX, when billions of dollars were lost, families were decimated, life savings were completely wiped, and people were wondering what on earth just happened. We have an option to take full custody of our funds, and that's Bitcoin. We just have to learn the process. It's not hard. It's just something we've never had to do before. Otherwise, the same mistakes are going to keep repeating themselves, and people are going to continue to get hurt over and over and over until they learn you need to exit the system in order to protect yourselves and your loved ones.